In this day and age, being a man, mainly about setting examples, providing. Obviously, I'm at an age now where, yeah, it's about setting an example for my younger brothers and sisters, and just providing for my future wife, really, bro. Like, those are my two main kind of bases on what I think it is really to be a man.
I think being a man's like just handling your responsibilities and like set principles and following them, like, no matter what the situation is. That's, if you're doing that, you're being a man.
I feel you, bro. I feel you. So what kind of principles, like?
It's different for each. Like, you can have the wrong principles,
yeah,
but follow them and still be a man. You might be a bad man or like a bad person, but I'm saying if you're following them principles, like this is Hitler. Yeah, see Hitler, he wasn't a good person, but he was a man. He stuck by his principles and done whatever. Even though he's a bad person, he was still a man.
I feel you. I feel you.
So basically, like for me, being a man is like looking after your own people, your own family, like starting going through things that are like hard, that a lot of men don't want to like go through.
Like what?
So like for example, like money problems, pressure, all of these things. Like we have to like, as a man, we've got to like handle these kind of stuff.
You got to do the things you don't want to do if that has to be done. That's what you have to do.
Whether
so all the things, just because you don't like to do it or don't want to do it, doesn't mean you don't do it. You have to do it.
Whether we like it or not, we still have to do things, even though that we don't want to.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And also one last thing, fighting your own battles though. Like, don't let anyone like fight your own battles and everything.
Yeah. I think the leading by example is a good point as well, man. Like, definitely. I think it's very important to make sure you're leading by example. And yeah, dealing with the pressures, like, that's another good point, bro. Like, in this day and age, a lot of men don't really want to talk about some of the things they're going through and whatnot, but being able to actually get through that, that's definitely the true kind of, yeah, that's a true man right there, for real.
Stereotypes.
Oh. Bro, not being able to, like, let emotions out sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of men don't really want to talk about some of the shit they're going through, bruv. Like, what ends up happening, especially in black culture, I find now a lot of men are getting depressed, having a lot of mental health problems because they just can't talk up, bruv. Like, they can't go to a next man and be like, bro, listen, like, I'm down about this, or I'm sad, like, because man's gonna look at you and be like, raw, bro, like, man up, innit? Like, don't come to man with those kind of problems. So, but I think that's a big thing, like, really.
Yeah, and for me, like, for like a man, yeah, like they don't wanna cry and all that, because men think crying makes you like weak, makes you like a lot weak though. Like a long time ago, like, you know, the mice and men, where you're not allowed to like show your emotions and all that, because everyone's gonna think that you're so weak and everything.
I feel you.
Yeah, but I think you should only do that to certain people. So you shouldn't be with your boys just crying about, like, because my boy, yeah, we were all out and he come and he was talking about how he broke up with his girl and started crying and was sat there crying in front of us for time, and I'm looking at him with no sympathy, thinking, bruv, go cry at home. Like, don't. If you're gonna talk, but I'm serious. If you're gonna talk,
but
to
you know
someone,
what?
it needs
Someone
to be that
might turn around and be like, bro, but you're not gonna that's the kind of attitude that is stopping man from talking up. Like, I know that's a
but I'm saying that
silly
should be
thing,
individual people. Like, it shouldn't be like some attention seeking thing, because
so
then you're not really being a man about it. Like,
so you saying like, right, like your boy that's been your boy from day, you can cry to, but you can't just jump in a circle with man that you don't really know.
Like, yo, look at me, my life's peak, and you know what I'm saying? Because then you're just being a little boy. That's what a little boy would do. Like, a little kid would come there and cry.
So wait, do you see that as like my man was kind of attention seeking in that kind of circumstance?
Yeah, like, you should be able to, if you need to talk about something, you should be able to go to someone like, listen, I need to talk to you in private, talk to them and speak it out. Do you know what I mean? If you want different people's opinion, go do that, innit? But I don't think all of this, like, people are trying to feminize men and trying to make them, trust me, I'm not with that. People are trying to be like,
that's getting deep. That's getting deep into the agenda right there, bro. But I feel what you're saying.
I don't like it. People need to man up.
I feel what
handle your shit. Do your shit.
Yeah.
What about? Do you think that being a man from maybe 60 years ago to being a man today is different?
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
So talk about that.
I think being a man 60 years ago, there weren't as much necessarily in your life. Maybe it's more like you're getting up, you're going work, you're coming home, you're going sleep. I think 60 years ago, but a lot of men didn't even really know their wife too tough, bruv. Like, do you know what I mean? Because you're spending more time like out of the house trying to provide. Like, I think now the way things are switched up, yeah, man, there's a lot more pressures on men. I think there's a lot more. Yeah, man, I feel like things are definitely different between now and then. I think technology's made a big kind of impact on that. Like, yeah. How else do you man think that things have changed in 60 years?
I think yeah. I think now it's more important to just look like you're a man, even if you're not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now it's the image now.
Yeah. That's such a good point, bruv. Yes,
before,
it's all about
you had to be a man just to have your
and
shit.
now a lot of men
like,
can pretend that they're the man. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to pretend like you're the man. That's it, bro. Real talk. I think back 60 years ago, it was a lot more about proving shit. But whereas now, it's so much easier for people to just put that mirage in front of you, bruv, and just, you know what I mean, paint a picture on social media or whatever it might be, behind closed doors.
If you spend like 30 grand on a chain, yeah, and your mom's still in a council house, yeah, everyone's looking at you like you're the man because you've got some 30 grand chain, yeah, but you're an idiot. You're an idiot because your mom's in a council house, yeah, you're not handling your responsibilities. You're trying to show everyone you're the man. You spent 30 grand on a chain, and you're gonna walk in your mom's house and show her your chain while she's still struggling. You're a little boy. That's what a little boy would do.
Yeah. Like if you were like a real man, yeah, like you take responsibilities, like looking after your mum, instead of like splashing out on shit that you don't even need, bro. Like the only thing that you need in life is just food,
Trust,
electricity, all these things. That's all you need, fam. You don't need.
Yeah, but no, buy a 30 grand chain if you can afford a 30 grand chain and you've niced up your mum already, innit? Yeah, do you know what I mean? But don't buy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, real talk. That's facts, bro. That's facts. Like,
money doesn't buy you respect. Do you know what I mean?
It does now.
It depends on the circumstance, bro.
It does now.
It depends on the circumstance, bro. Because I think money can kind of buy you respect, bro. And that's where a lot of men can kind of get away with this acting thing because they can buy that respect.
They got the money.
Exactly. They got to go out there and actually earn that respect, bro. Like back in the day, you had to earn that shit. Like now, you don't really have to earn that, bro.
It's true.
Like things, yeah, man. Things are switched, bro. It's even coming down to if you really want to go deeper and look at what like 60 years ago, or not even 60 years ago, 10 years ago, bro. When it come to settling things on road, like man would get in the park, we'd scrap it out. The next day you see man and it's alright, it's calm whether you won or lost. But now, bro, it's like I feel like dipping a man or do you know what I mean, doing something from a distance is a bit different, bro. Like I feel like, yeah, man, I don't know. For me, that's not really earning as much respect as things used to be, bro. Like personally.
And what about, say, what do you think about the pressures that the man then put on mans to be the man? And you know, you're talking about the image, which is so true. Like, mans, you could have a nice car rented, you got to watch on finance, and you're looking like the shit, but you ain't put no motherfucking work in. But man, them are rating that. So what about the pressures of being in a group? What about the impact that has?
Bro, it's hard, bro.
It's pressure,
yeah, man, it's hard, bro. It's hard. I think everyone wants to, like, when you're around your boys, everyone wants to feel a certain way. You want to feel good. You want to feel respected, innit? So, if a certain thing's gonna bring you a certain level of respect around your man, them like you're gonna want that. You're gonna want whatever that thing is, whether it's the nice whip, whether it's the fly gal. Like you're gonna want to have those things that are gonna have your brethren being like, bro, you're the man. You're the guy.
Man,
like everyone loves that feeling. Like you can't deny it. Like that's why. Most of us chase dreams, innit? Whether it be in whatever field you're trying to get into, you're doing what you're doing because you want that respect at the end of the day, innit? And no respect's better than respect from your closest. Like, do you know what I mean? Getting the respect from your closest, that's the best respect you can get, bruv. Like, I think.
I agree with that, man.
It puts bare pressure on you, but you need to be able to just do your own thing. Like, no matter what pressures are put on you, need to make the right decision first. That's all it is. Because I know what it's like, and you want to buy that new thing just to stunt, innit? Yeah. But I'm saying if that's gonna put you back, then there's no point doing that, innit? Move when you're ready to move, innit? No matter what pressure, innit? Like even if it means you have to bum it out for like 6-7 months, innit? Yeah. Do that and stick to the plan, innit? Yeah. Don't fucking switch up your plan just to impress someone else, because that's not making you money.
Yeah. And for me, like
that's not making money.
Yeah. Basically, like for me, pressure, like it gets things done at the end of the day, though. Like it makes you like stop wasting time. Like you have to do it, man. Like you ain't got a choice. Like,
that's true. So really, you can look at that like in some ways pressure could be a good thing, bruv. Like pressure from the man them can be a good thing.
Yeah,
because,
exactly,
do you know what I mean? If it's driving you to
Makes you work harder,
bruv,
work
to
faster.
work harder to get them things, then that's not a bad thing, bruv.
It's kind of like motivation, like it motivates you to do stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Like, you know what I mean?
I feel you.
Alright, so you watch like two types of successful men in the world, yeah? What's the difference between a man to you that will save the world and kill himself, or kill himself to save the world? So you know there's a lot of selfish people in the world that have to be selfish to become rich, and then there's selfless people in the world who never got nowhere but they're the proudest men.
Bro,
Who would you rather be?
To me, I'd rather be the selfless man.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's honour in that. Like, yeah, as nice as it is, like everyone kind of seeing you and, do you know what I mean? Like, seeing you as that guy, sometimes it's just as nice knowing you're that guy without everyone having to give you that kudos, innit? Like, so bro, for me, yeah, I'd much rather be the selfless guy, like, definitely, without a doubt, yeah.
I need to hear that one more time. Say that one more time.
So would you rather be the man to kill the world to save yourself, or save the world and kill yourself? So I want to know if you want to be the selfless successful man, or the successful man who does whatever he has to do to get it. Remember, the selfless successful man doesn't always have riches.
Yeah.
He doesn't, most of the time he doesn't have riches because his
That's what I'm
art,
saying.
you know what I'm
So,
saying?
if it was just me, yeah, the selfless man in it, yeah, but if it's my family, yeah, and it means I've got to kill the world to save my family, I'll kill the world.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, like that. So if it's like, if it means it's putting my family first, then yeah,
So you
because they
burn
come first,
all the
then
bridges to
everyone
keep everyone
else, you know what I
safe.
mean, innit? But like, so to an extent, innit? To an extent, yeah, like obviously I'm not out trying to be selfless and all that stuff here, but if it means that I can't even finish what I'm trying to say, and I can't even explain what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? I can't even explain it. Just, I'm sort of half with that, innit? You know what I mean?
And what about, say, in terms of in relating to a female, into females, how do you feel and portray your masculinity in terms of how you interact with females and how you treat and perceive females?
Me, honestly, like, if I'm just gonna keep it 100, intelligence, bro. Like, that's just been always the one thing that's worked for me. Like, I haven't really had to like do what some of my brethren do, like with a nice whips or splashing money. Like, I've just kind of, I've been a humble guy, and I've just been, yeah, bro, I think my intelligence has kind of got me places with gal. So I've just been kind of lucky with that, and I've just stuck with the method. Like, I stuck with what works, bruv. Like, I haven't really felt like man needed to switch it up too tough. So yeah, bruv, like.
Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, I don't. That's a difficult. Say the question again.
Like it's two it's two parts. You could answer it in two ways. But how do you feel your masculinity in the image of yourself being a man affects and relates to women that you've seen, date, love, and care about in your life?
Okay, so how it affects them? If I'm not being a man, then they have to take that role. Yeah, and I feel that's like. Basically, if I'm not being a man, I'm not carrying enough weight, and it's more weight on them, yeah? If I'm being a man about it, it's less weight on them, and sometimes you just gotta, that's all I can really say, yeah.
So
if you're carrying your weight, then it's less stress on the women around you, innit?
Yeah.
Like, as a man, you should be trying to do that, because they can handle their stuff, you can handle your stuff, innit? Do you know what I mean? So it's just, you're all carrying the same weight together, but you're a man. Do you know what I mean? You are carrying more different type of weights. Yeah.
As proud men, does your insecurities ever have an effect on any relationships or how you treat women, just based on your personal insecurities? But obviously stuff that you know most men will find universal.
Yeah.
Trust in a girl.
Yeah,
Trust in a girl.
Yeah, man. In this day and age, bruv, like,
it's hard to trust a girl.
without a doubt. If you ain't got that nicest car, or you ain't got mad money in your bank account, or whatever it might be, like, bro, you're always, you're gonna be looking over your shoulder like, raw, is she in it for me, or is she in it for other things? And do you know what I mean? What are those other things? And if you don't have those other things, you're definitely gonna feel insecure, man. Like, I think that's most guys, really, bruv. Like, but I'm just talking for myself, and like, to me personally, I think definitely insecurities have played a part over the years. But you just learn things as you go along in it, and you have to just, man.
And do you think that in trying to fix these insecurities, have you ever risked your so-called manhood? Your quote-unquote pride? Things that you know that you wouldn't normally stand for?
I don't know, bro, but it's funny you say that, because a few weeks ago, me and my brothers were talking. One of my boys used to make enough joke about how he'd never wear skinny jeans. Yeah, he got with a girl now, and we was looking at his Insta and was like, raw. I swear my man said he was never gonna wear the skinny ripped up jeans. Like, so I think that's a good example of, do you know what I mean, what you're talking about. But personally, I can't think of anything myself. Like, I'm a mad stubborn person, so I stick to my way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm mad stubborn, bruv. Like,
it's not a good thing though. But like,
bruv, I'm that guy where it's like, right, if you want me to do that, I'm not gonna do it. Then fuck it, later, innit? Later, bruv. There's bare chicks out here, but yeah, man, like,
Yeah.
bruv.
That's good. I hear you.
And do you feel that the older generation left a good example in terms of how to be a man?
It made a way better example, because I feel like we've kind of messed up, yeah. Because when I look at people, the generation below me, yeah, acting like little kids, like at ages where we were acting like men, I feel like we must have not shown them right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
bro,
the people older than me, they're men. Like, do you know what I mean? And like they hold it down, like majority of them. Do you know what I mean? Majority of them.
Or let's
I
say,
feel like,
say like basically like you've cheated back then with your like wife or your girl and all that, yeah, and you regret doing it though. Like, it's still like gonna come back to you though. Yeah, it pains you a lot.
Yeah, trust me.
No, but I feel like the older generation, yeah, I think they definitely left more of a mark, man. More of a mark without a shadow of a doubt. Like, especially what you was talking about on the, if you look at how men are now at certain ages and how we were at certain ages, like, it's different still. Like, I do think, yeah, man, a lot of men are getting, I don't know, I don't want to say like softer and that, I don't know, man. I don't want to, I mean, I don't want to start throwing out insults, but yeah, it's
a lot of people are kind of lost. They're not too. That's why this is good.
Priorities as well,
really know
priorities. I think a lot of men's priorities are in the wrong place. Yeah, their priorities ain't with providing and setting.
That's what I'm saying, but no one's telling them that.
That's it.
No one's saying like they're just doing stuff that's wrong, and then no one's being like, yo, that's wrong. Everyone's just like, raw. Like, you know, no one's in it. That's like our generation. We're just looking down like, oh.
Yeah,
we're not being
right,
like, raw, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? We're more just
right.
like, raw, these messed up. Like, do you know what I mean? Whereas the older generation, they'll come to you like, yo, like, raw, what are you not doing? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be running fuckies on their state. Like, the elders will clap you up, bruv. Like, yeah, I don't really, and I think our generation don't really do that to the young bucks no more.
Yeah,
like, we're just like, do you know what, leave, man. Which is, it's probably not a good thing on our side, but yeah, bruv, I think that's the difference there still.
So,
yeah.
So what was, if, say each one teach one now, yeah? What would be something that you would let son, brother, nephew, little boy on the road, anybody, what would you let them know to say that this is how you become a man? Like, from your personal standpoint, not nothing that's just what the media say. What's your personal standpoint? Knowing what it's like to be in this country, knowing what it's like to be you, knowing what it's like to look like you. What would you remind him?
Always love yourself first, and as long as that is like the main kind of basis for, I think, the way you live your life, on top of that, to honour and respect those around you, like, I think value everyone with the same level of respect. You never know what someone's going through, do you know what I mean? Like, and we're all going through something. So yeah, man, I think yeah, man, and family, bruv. Like, and do you know what I mean? That family is key. Like, but I don't know if that's something I would say, because I'd like to think I'm gonna bring my child up or whatever, like, within that family, so they're always gonna feel that. Like, it's harder to say like what I'd actually tell them, like, but it's more trying to show them things, bruv. Like, as they're growing up, trying to actually show them the right way, because, but you can tell someone something bare times, but if you don't show them something, like, a lot of men don't really take things in until they see by example. So. Yeah, I think it's hard to kind of say what I'd tell someone, but I know I'd just make sure I try and show them the right way, really.
Yeah, it's hard to say one thing, but I would just say show love and don't tolerate any hate.
For real.
Show love, don't tolerate any hate. You can't go wrong. Because if you're showing love, you can't go wrong. Do you know what I mean? Just do what you feel is right, because it's built in you. You know what's right, you know what's wrong. You have that little voice in your head that everyone ignores. Yeah, just do what you feel is right, but don't tolerate any hate.
I mean, people hate. People
don't tolerate any.
People always hate on you because they don't like what you're doing, innit? Though they don't even like what you're doing, man. That's why it's just like hate, man.
That's what I'm saying. But if someone's hating, show love. But I'm saying don't but don't tolerate. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't tolerate anything that they're trying to do to you. Don't tolerate anything for anyone, yeah?
Yeah.
But show love, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Looking back from, say, 5 years ago to where you are now, would you say you're the man that you wanted to become? Are you the man that to the men you looked up to?
I think I'm close, bro. I think I'm close. Like, 5 years ago, I was trying to impress my parents. I was doing a job that I never wanted to do. Like, the money was all right, but, bruv, like, I was not on the right path. I was not on my path, innit? Like, I weren't loving what I was doing. Like, now when I'm waking up, I'm loving what I'm doing. For me, that's the main thing. And I feel like, wow, the money might not have been as good as 5 years ago, but now that love's there, money will come with that. But that's not my main thing that I'm really trying to chase now. Like, for me, it's happiness, like feeling positive every day and just, yeah, bruv, like, I think I'm close, man. I'm close, bruv. But I'm not there yet, but I'm close, definitely.
I don't even know, like, I feel I'm a man. I'm not the man that I wanted to be 5 years ago. 5 years ago, yeah, the man I thought I'd be today, yeah, is not that yet. I'm on my way, I'm aware of what's wrong, I'm aware of what's right. Yeah, and I've just got to work on a few things, like, that's all it is. Yeah. But I'm saying 5 years ago, I had unrealistic, you know what I mean, innit? Unrealistic, like, ambitions, innit? But, you know what I'm saying?
Sounds like having a strong state of mind and
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a strong trait of a man, I guess.
Exactly, innit? You slip up, you just got to identify when you're slipping up and just snip that out.
Yeah.
Boom, just more and more in it until it's all gone.
Yeah, bro.
So basically back 5 years back, so you decided what you wanted to be in the future, but then also sometimes your future can change though. Like, you might not want to be something that you wanted to be in life though. Like, you could be something else.
What about you though, bro? Like, how did you feel 5 years ago?
You probably wasn't even thinking about that, innit?
I
You was young, innit?
Yeah.
That's mad, innit?
Wasn't even thinking about it though. Like, you might have like late teenage times, innit though. Like, you never decide what you wanted to be in life in the future.
Since you're like one of the youngest there, yeah, what do you think a man is? Because you ain't had as much experience as some of us with some of the shit. So some of the examples that you've seen, what's your definition of a man? I like to know where it's coming from, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you think a man is?
So yeah, like I said, a man, like basically like a good man has to be like a good influence to like everyone, to their own kids, to their own family, everything. Like, you do not want to be a man that has to be a bad influence and everything. You know what I mean?
And do you feel that media has a part to play in terms of the image it portrays of men and masculinity?
Yeah, bro, 100%, man, 100%. But the media has a part to play in most things, but yeah, I'd say the masculinity of men depends how deep we want to get into this, bruv. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, if we're talking like just men generally, or are we talking like, are we talking like certain races of men? Are we talking certain ages? Like what we talking here, bruv?
I
Because
don't know, sometimes when we talk about the perfect man, I think we should keep it as the perfect man.
okay,
Because everybody should strive to be that perfect
Yeah,
man,
bro.
whatever it is to them. You know?
Yeah.
And you can only, if it's 10 things that make you that perfect man and you've done 4,
yeah,
you've got 6 more to go.
exactly.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, I
That's what
feel
I'm
you.
saying.
I feel you.
Yeah, I feel like the media's promoting the wrong image. And it's just, yeah, I'm not going to get too deep here, but the world runs on business, and whatever's good business is going to get promoted in it.
Facts, man.
So don't listen to the media if you want to see if you want to be a man, yeah, find someone that you feel is a man and try and learn from them in it.
Real
The
talk.
media's not
Real
going to pay.
talk.
They're not there to try and be like a good person in your life. Yeah. They're trying to make some money. So
Find a way to manipulate you some
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
bruv,
No one's
like,
gonna
If it
facts.
makes more money for you to like purple,
Yeah,
then they're gonna promote purple.
Yeah.
If it makes more money for you to, do you know what I'm saying? Then they're gonna promote that color. That's
Yeah.
how it goes.
Don't let the media control you. Control yourself though. Like, think. You don't have to follow like everything that you see on media, all the news and all that though.
always chase your dreams, like, and just don't stop chasing your dreams. In regards to being a man, I'm just gonna have to just rob your point, but like find someone that you feel is a man and follow their example. Like facts. If you don't have someone already in your life that you feel is an example that you like of a man that you want to be, then find that person and yeah, man, however you can, like whether they're in your life or not, follow what they do, and just yeah, find a good example for yourself. Really.
Yeah. Same sort of thing, innit? Just work out what you want to do and bang it out, and just expand as well. Do you know what I mean? Don't stick to one thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Expand. Just always trying to learn. Always try and learn, but shut people down when they're talking rubbish. But always try and learn.
Yeah. So yeah, as he always says, yeah, like always chase your own dreams. Like don't chase anyone else's dreams, and mostly don't ever hang out with a bad crowd because they're obviously trying to bring you down with them. So like, if you know what I mean, like stick to your own people though. Like you don't have to follow them in it though. Be a leader of yourself. Don't be a follower.
If I had one message for the youngers as well, is that you're gonna find in life that it's only great people that will ever look at you and say, I want you to be greater than me. That's the person that you need to follow. Anybody that looks at you and says that I want you to be greater than me, that's your example right there. Nobody else, if they don't give a fuck about you, they won't say it.